In February 2022, the world watched as war returned to Europe. On the 24th of February 2022, forces from Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, crossing international borders in multiple directions. This was not a contained conflict or a frozen dispute. It was an outright military assault using tanks, artillery, and air power, a moment that shattered post-Cold War assumptions about European security. Why did this happen? To understand, we need to go back to 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea and backed separatists in eastern Ukraine. That earlier conflict simmered for years, but in 2022, it escalated. Russian leaders argued they felt threatened by NATO's eastward expansion. Ukraine, increasingly oriented toward democratic reform and closer ties with Western institutions, was seen as moving into what Russia regarded as its strategic sphere of influence. This belief, widely discussed by analysts at institutions like the International Institute for Strategic Studies, helped shape Russia's rationale, though it violated international law and Ukraine's sovereignty. Ukraine, under President Volodymyr Zelensky, responded with fierce resistance. Ukrainian forces and civilians stood firm, turning what was expected to be a swift advance into prolonged defensive warfare. Governments around the world reacted swiftly. Western nations imposed sweeping economic sanctions on Russia, targeting banks, officials, industries, and key technologies. Those sanctions aimed to cripple Russia's economy and limit its ability to sustain a long conflict. Energy markets shifted as well. Europe scrambled to reduce dependence on Russian oil and gas, accelerating transitions to alternative energy sources. The impact of the invasion extended beyond military and economic realms. It drew NATO closer together, prompted new defense commitments, and reshaped global diplomatic alignments. Millions of Ukrainians were displaced. Cities were devastated. The human cost has been immense, with tens of thousands of lives lost and millions more affected. The war did not end quickly. Despite repeated offensives, battles continue across the eastern and southern fronts, with neither side achieving a decisive resolution. What this conflict shows is stark. In the 21st century, large-scale conventional warfare among major states remains possible and has profound consequences for global security, economics, and human lives. This is not just a war in one region. It is a defining event with ripples across the international system, and it will shape global history for decades to come.